What's up, my Beardos and Weirdos? OneTopic here, and today we're diving into what keeps me awake at night. It's gonna be a mix between r/ShowerThoughts and also r/whatever kind of polls I put up on Twitter when I can't sleep at night. Alright, let's get started. Quidditch at Hogwarts is pay to win, due to the enormous difference in broom quality and the wealth gap between students. That seriously bugged me when I was a kid. I was like, oh man, if Harry's parents weren't rich, he wouldn't have been able to get the Nimbus 2000 and outplay every other individual who had to use one of the school brooms that was all broken down. And a lot of the house points are based off of who wins Quidditch. So what the heck, Hogwarts? Way to be unfair. Classist wizard school. Then when it got broken, he got gifted the fireball. What a lucky duckling. No! Are Teletubbies wearing clothes? When I asked all of you this, I had just watched a little sketch of a Teletubby and another Teletubby interacting with Human One, and I thought, oh, that's so weird, their skin, their clothes, and their faces seem to be made out of the same material. What if they are the same material? What if that is their skin and just their faces are a slightly different color? And the rest of their body is just, that's their skin. They're not wearing clothes. Are they wearing dumpy clothes? Is that just their exposed skin? Are Teletubbies wearing clothes? These are the kind of thoughts that keep me awake at night. In the woods, camping, you hear a spooky thing. You tell your friends to hush, go take a look, or tell the loud guy to take a look. You know when you're watching a horror movie and everyone's gone out camping and they hear that definitely the sound of a serial killer noise in the woods and everyone's like, maybe we should call the cops and get the heck out of here. There's always that one guy that's like, no, I'm gonna go look. And it's like the noisiest one that's been drinking the most of the party. So would you sacrifice yourself to go take a look? Would you tell everyone to hush? Or would you tell that noisy guy to go take a look? Yeah, everyone's sacrificing that guy. Shower thought. Looking for a job is about convincing a bunch of Mr. Krabs that you're a SpongeBob when you're actually a Patrick, until you slowly become Squidward. Oh no! Oh, I can't even tell you what it would feel like if I spent the rest of my life working at the same McDonald's day after day after day. The same ding! Oh, and the 6 different ding sounds you have to memorize to recognize whether or not it's a wall product that's dropping, if it's your burgers that need flipping, if it's muffins coming out of the oven, if it's a new order coming up, if the fries are done. I hate it. I hate it so much, and I hate that I have that knowledge still. I don't want it. Try not to feel jaded out there, fam. Try to do a new thing every week. If you're stuck at work doing the same monotonous job over and over and over again, it can be so taxing mentally, especially when you feel so checked out at the end of the day. But I promise you, you'll feel so much better as long as you keep in mind that you can learn something new every day if you try. Don't just get through today. Enjoy as much of it as you can. Would you rather toot sunshine, barf rainbows, or burp stars? What would you rather do out of those 3? It looks like the majority of people picked burp stars. I guess that's the least offensive. Almost the same number of people wanted to barf rainbows, though. I guess if your rainbows weren't a solid and when you did feel like puking, only rainbows would come up, that'd be quite a pleasant experience. But burping stars, you could use that to light your way. Lumos, bleh! Never need a flashlight again. Technically, your alarm tone is your theme song as it starts every episode. Oh, I need to download a custom ringtone right now because that's awful. No, very little could make me more depressed in this moment than knowing this information. How many of you out there just use the default alarm tones when you wake up in the morning? Most people, right? Oh, because you don't want to ruin another sound and have that associated with getting up out of your warm, comfy bed and getting ready for your day, your soul-crushing days you go to work. No. Oh, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it so much. Why did I make this video? Would you rather pineapple pizza or banana pizza? The majority of people picked pineapple, but I mean, if you cook them if you cook the fruit before you put it on the pizza turns out fine. If you sear the pineapple before putting it in the pizza, then pizza doesn't get soggy from the pineapple because you're not supposed to cook the pineapple at the same time they cook the pizza. So many people do not grasp this, and then they just end up with soggy, gross pizza. No! Same thing with the banana. You sear the bottom of the banana, then you put it on the pizza. It'll all turn out okay. Shower thought. If everything goes smoothly, you probably won't remember today. Dang, that's a heck of a thing. The way to make things feel more valuable and worthwhile is not to follow the same repetitive things every single day, to get stuck in a routine and a rut. A lot of people that do that then say, oh my god, where did the last 5 years go? When they all of a sudden notice that they're in the exact same spot years later with no differences. They just check out most of the time. Try to learn a new thing every day. Try to pick up some new task every single week. Try to do something that engages your brain and interests you and entertains you. This is the only way, it's the only way you're going to feel alive while you live your life. That's why I picked up so much trivia knowledge. That's why if you come check me out on stream and we play Jackbox, the murder game, I'll probably murder you. Yay! It's just watered down coffee. Damari, what happened? Damari! Oh no! American, no. That's right, Ping Bongsta. So check me out on stream. That is a challenge. Would you rather pick one to feel for the rest of your life? Soggy socks and shoes, a runny nose on one side, a hair in your mouth, or water in both ear canals? Yeah, okay. I guess most people voted for a runny nose on one side, but all of these would be so annoying. I might actually pick the soggy socks and shoes for the rest of my days. A hair in my mouth? You can't get proper mouthfeel from food if you have a hair in your mouth all the time. Water in both ears? You can't hear properly. Everything's like... And a runny nose? You can't smell properly. The only one that doesn't really take away a sense is the soggy socks and shoes. Very uncomfortable, very annoying and gross, but you can still smell, taste, and hear, so it might be worth it. Ugh. In movies, there are two kinds of vents. Human-sized vents, and vents that are big enough only for the smallest, least experienced member of the group. It is interesting that in a movie, the characters will complain,
oh, I wish I wasn't born so short and small.
and then all of a sudden, at one point in the movie, like,
Oh, thank God I was born so short and small.
and then they're the only ones who can climb through the vents and save the day. No! But this thought does not keep me up at night. There are two types of people in this world. Socks on in bed, or no. Do you wear socks to fall asleep? I can't. I hate it. Even when I'm camping and it's absolutely freezing, I would rather take off my socks and then put something fuzzy and warm around my feet that are simulacra for socks. That restriction, that tight feeling that I get around my feet, I don't like it. What if I need to be battle ready? What if ninjas attack me in my sleep? I need my feet accessible and ready. Are you battle ready? 74% of people, I'm on board with this one. Okay, so this one is actually still running as of the time that I'm recording this, which it'll probably be done by the time I've finished and have this up on the channel. Is bubble tea soup or tea? 27% of people say it's soup, and 73% of people say it's tea. What would you pick? I noticed, just before starting this recording, I noticed that Oz Media had commented that bubble tea is actually soap. Thanks, Oz. Thanks for the contribution. I appreciate that. Shower thought. If a sloth were to clap, it will always sound sarcastic. It reminds me of that scene in Zootopia when that sloth wants to hear a joke. And then the very slow reaction, just the... True gamers, rise up. Would you rather play with a keyboard and mouse, a controller, or as long as you're gaming, it doesn't matter? I thought that was really interesting. The PC master race would rather say, play with a keyboard and mouse no matter what. But the controller crowd was just like, you know, whatever, it's just video games, either play with a controller or as long as you're gaming, it does not matter. I usually play with a controller, depending on the type of game, but I have an Xbox, I play on PC. I stream, by the way. You should probably come check out my streams. When our generation is old, we will subconsciously be trying to keep our electronics from getting wet even if it's waterproof. Oh, I still have this feeling. Every time I take my phone out and I'm going to wash it in the sink, I keep thinking like, oh, don't drop in the water. But really, it's waterproof now. There's no point in worrying. The sink is not that deep. Oh, anytime I've had an older piece of electronic, I'm always like, oh gosh, if it gets even splashed, it's completely ruined forever. This is the worst thing to ever happen. I think we're all going to be really weird when we're old. When you find pictures of your grandparents now, it's like, wow, everyone looks so formal and fancy. It was a special occasion to get your picture taken. But when when our grandkids dig up our photos, I'm like, wow, I found another one of grandma twerking. Oh, that's so weird. What an ancient form of dance. Your household is either an outdoor shoes off inside or an outdoor shoes on inside household. 78% of people have a normal household, I would say. Yes. And then 21% of people say outdoor shoes on inside. Ah, your house must be so dirty. I appreciate in the comments that some people clarified to say that they'd like to have, slippers or guest shoes on for the household. That's fine. But just the outdoor shoes where you can track in all the dirt, all the grime from outside, all the potential diseases and smelly things, depending on what you step on. Dragging that into the house? Unacceptable. No. Shower thought. We blame black cats crossing our path for causing bad luck, but we never consider the possibility that the path we were on was already unlucky, and that the cat was warning us to take another. Oh, that reminds me of the ominous look that a plague doctor has. I mean, plague doctors would originally go into towns just to assess how many people had the plague and account everyone, but sometimes they'd jump into a town before anyone realized that there was plague. A plague doctor became intricately interwoven and interconnected with the plague itself, rather than just being a representation of the accountability that the government was trying to have, saying, yes, let's just count how many people are sick. But instead, people saw it as like, oh no, there comes the plague doctor, the one who brings the plague. And now in artwork and things, it looks so ominous and mysterious when you have an individual with that long bird beak mask. You're like, oh, no, everyone's gonna die. Spooky. I wonder whether it will be rude to ask androids if they're plugged in or battery powered. Yeah, sometimes I just can't go to sleep, and I put them on Twitter just to see what other people are thinking. That way I can, relax at the end of the night. My brain won't turn off most nights. I know Human One can attest to this, but I just can't shut off and stop. I keep thinking back to different movies or books that I've read, and if androids are intelligent in the future, would it be rude to ask them what sort of power supply they'd need? I really appreciate the debate that happened in the comments on this one. Scissors are for cutting food or cutting anything else. This one is interesting. There's kitchen shears that are an option, but I've noticed that some people actually just use like regular dollar store scissors to cut food items in a kitchen, and that drives me nuts. It's like, why? They're kitchen shears. They're a different implement to scissors, but you're using scissors on the chicken. Use a knife. How many chef dollar store scissors do you see? Not many, I would wager. Shower thought. Under new management signs are the tactful way of saying, we know the last owners were shit, but give us a chance. Ah! That is a very polite way of saying, hey, listen, we know it was terrible here before, but please give us your business. We paid a lot for this place. We got rid of the other guy. Scooby-Doo taught kids there's no such thing as ghosts, but it isn't any more comforting to think that the shadow chilling in your bedroom corner at night may just be a deranged theme park janitor in a monster costume. Well, that's super spooky. Craziest thing for me was when they had a fully articulated mask that someone would wear, and then all of a sudden an adult would just go and rip off someone's face to show another face underneath. Oh, that was so weird. The ghosts and stuff, I think I can handle that. People pulling off each other's faces? No! If anyone's watched my absolute favorite Scooby-Doo show from, I think it was like 2012, it had Patrick Warburton in it as the sheriff. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. The whole town's tourism industry was based on whether or not ghosts were real. And if they were real, oh, perfect, tourist attraction, people come to the spooky cove where everyone lives. But then these darn kids kept meddling and showing, oh, they're not real, until all of a sudden they were. Does anyone else just miss Harry Potter? Which house are you? I wanted to see what everyone's house is, just generally in the audience, and I found that most people were in Hufflepuff, and that kind of makes sense. I mean, they're good at finding things, and they're a cuddly bunch, and that sounds like our group. I mean, reading through the books, you see that while there is a collection of different individuals in Gryffindor, there's not equal representation across the houses. I think if there's an expanded universe of Harry Potter that happens at some point, we should definitely see more characters from other houses. A lot of people have been asking me to do a video on which house I'm in and which wand I would use, so yeah, if enough people comment on this video asking for that, well, sure, I'll do it. Your pet may have also named you. Ah! Oh, that's spooky. Oh, that's super spooky. People often think that animals have a secret language that they use to communicate with each other, but really it's the most basic form of communication ever. In human terminology, it'd be like growls and grunts to indicate like happy, unhappy, hungry, whatever. But they don't have a language because we've separated them from their kind for so long that they haven't had the ability to create little communes or communities in which they could start naming things over time. Like dolphins have specific words for different types of kelp and other things. Interesting studies on that. But cats, as an example, you steal them away as a baby, you throw them in a household, and all of a sudden you've got this like little feral creature running around, and everyone's like, oh, I wonder what it's saying. It's not saying anything because you haven't allowed it to develop a society and communication skills. I eat kiwis. With the skin or skinless? Ooh. I asked this one a while ago. I mentioned that I ate kiwis like peaches. where you wash the outside and then you just bite into them. I didn't think that was that weird. And then I think I was seen at work once eating one just whole, as one would, like a cherry tomato. And they said, why the heck haven't you skinned it? Doesn't everyone skin their kiwis before eating them? And I thought that was weird. So I thought I'd put up a poll for one night when I couldn't sleep. And then everyone was saying, the majority, 73% of people said, no, they'd rather skin it. Why? You could lose a lot of the fruit. Shower thought. As toys make no effort to hide from the security cameras in the Toy Story universe, there must be a secret society aware of their sentience. Ooh, a little conspiracy theory within the Toy Story community. If you think back to the first film with Sid, he knew the toys were sentient. He knew that they were aware and running around because Woody organized all of them to communicate with him. So play nice. I mean, that's super spooky as a kid. That freaked me out. I can't even imagine what kind of PTSD he has. But he's aware. So there's no way that most people aren't aware. Plus, people have like motion capture cameras. I mean, while there were some toys that could use computers and the internet, it's not like they all could. So there's definitely pockets of humanity that are fully aware that toys are sentient. Would you rather yes or no? And most of you picked or because all of you are awesome. Shower thought. If ghosts are real, then cemeteries are a great idea because when a person dies, they'll have other ghosts to socialize with. I really like that idea. You wouldn't want grandma and grandpa to be really lonely out there, would you? You'd like them to be hanging out with their friends and whatnot. Plus, that makes me think of all the couples that are buried next to each other and they can hang out with each other in the afterlife as well as in the life. That's really sweet. That's a really sweet sentiment. I like that a lot. Teeth or skeleton? Yes or no? When you look up documents on what teeth are made out of, a lot of them say, yes, they are made out of similar properties to the whole skeleton, but they are not bones. But they are part of the skeletal structure. So, teeth are skeleton. So yes, 86.5% of people are correct. Shower thought. Dads probably bond with dogs so much because, in our society, men don't get shown a lot of affection, but dogs give tons of affection regardless. I want a dog. Human One, we should get a dog.
Sure.
Very enthusiastic. Thanks, Human One.
You're welcome.
Shiba Inu?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a Shiba Inu. I feel this a lot. Lamps in video games use real electricity. Lamps in video games use real electricity. Yeah, they do. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Because they need to brighten up a portion of your screen, and then you need more electricity to run that, so it's a very unconventional way of looking at that. I really like that. Alright, my Beardos and Weirdos, I really hope you liked this video. This was a little bit silly and a little bit outside of what we normally cover, but I had a lot of fun with this one. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see another video like this one, or if you want to see something different. And yeah, hope all of you have a fantastic day out there. We'll see you in the next one, where we take it one topic at a time. Roll that outro! If you've never had a Discman or a Walkman die because it was in your pocket in the rain, then you haven't truly felt pain.